Welcome back to Bear With Me. The Boston Bruins are now 22-19-5, and that is good enough for 4th in the Atlantic, 7th in the Eastern Conference, and 15th in the National Hockey League. My name is Copponi and Rob Tocci. Rob, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're brought to you by PrizePicks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network, and by GameTime Tickets, the best sites to buy tickets online, sports, content, all your favorite events. Bruins have won a couple of games against a couple of good teams.
In a row?
Back to back. In, dare I say, convincing fashion at moments.
Yeah, I appreciate the qualifier. I'll start by saying that I didn't feel great after the Florida win. A win's a win. 2 points are 2 points. Yeah. But people were like, yeah. I'm like, other than just like technically ending the losing streak, I'm like, that win didn't do a lot for me.
No, it almost slipped right through your finger. In the final seconds, it was just a matter of like, okay, they're going to score any second here. They're going to get at least 1 point out of this. Like, they're about to blow this. The fact that the overtime went the way that it did, stunning. And it was by chance. It was off of bounds. So it's like, sure, I'll take the points. But man, were they on the verge of that not being the case.
Yeah, like letting them tie it and at the very end of regulation with what, like 2.8 seconds to go, and then having like an okay overtime and then scoring with like another handful of seconds on the clock off of like the craziest bounce, most fortuitous bounce of the season so far. It was like, cool, we didn't lose, but it wasn't like, oh, what a weight off our shoulders. I was like,
yeah, a 90-degree tip off a pass is not the way you draw it up. Like,
no,
that's one of those ones like in the playoffs. You're like, hell yeah, like, oh yeah, fucking sure, like you take that all day, whatever. But like when you're looking for something to rally around and looking for signs of life in a team that has lost six at the time lost 6 in a row, yeah, it was like cool. Like, I hope this gets the boys fired up, but they haven't shown me yet that things have changed. The Lightning game looked like things changed. Yeah,
big time. And going into the game, all right, so we're going to start with this morning. The first thing I see when I wake up, Matty Poitras with the Boston Bruins. Like, he's on the ice with the Boston Bruins. And I was like, what? What? You mean it?
You're foaming at the mouth. Yeah. You're
and I immediately am like,
I could feel it over here.
Yeah, so I'm searching Poitras. I'm like, was there a call up? And there was. So that was for me like the kickoff of the day. I was like, oh shit, Poitras in tonight. And then the bigger update that, along with Poitras getting called up, Michael Callahan also called up because Charlie McAvoy moved to the injured reserve. Mark Kastelic moved to the injured reserve, and officially moving Hampus Lindholm to the long-term injured reserve. So I was like, wow, that's a lot. There's a lot going on here. Chuck, clearly something had been going on. There was that photo going around of him where he appears to be wearing a cast on his like right like wrist forearm. But people were like, oh, that's new, and no one said anything about it. So I don't know if that's real. We still don't even know if that's what the injury is.
I mean, he had done media since then. So
I think he played since then.
I mean, was it not like around that same exact time? Because that day was the day of the first Lightning game. That they got stuck in the elevator. That's where that screenshot came from, was from the TikTok of them getting out of the elevator. RIP, by the way. And not to anybody on the elevator, to TikTok as a whole. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he played that night in the Tampa game, didn't he?
Yeah, even if he didn't, I honestly don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny. But even just like generally lately, like his play has been subpar, and he's been getting flamed pretty hard. There was that GIF I posted of him like crashing his stick over the net, and that drew a lot of attention. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, 9.5 million and he's already giving up, or just like whatever. Like, he's the problem. And it's like, well, he's not doing well, but what's usually when that happens, superstars don't tend to just like drop off out of nowhere for no reason. So I think in the back of our head,
he did need like something. He did need a change. Like you I think said it, that you were like, he should probably remember that he's Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah, I'd say that a lot about a lot of players.
That's something that you would say.
That's Rob saying. Yeah. So it's hard to say exactly what it was, what it is, but all the same, him being out calls up Michael Callahan, who real quickly, I just want to say, I thought he played well. Like, not like, again, kind of like the I didn't really notice him, but that there's nothing wrong with that from a call up defenseman. Like, if you're playing the game correctly, I shouldn't be noticing you all that much.
The talk right now is that they are going to assess McAvoy after the Ottawa game, which is Saturday.
Okay.
Long spell here. Long week, no Bruins hockey. So they got a couple of off days here, and then Saturday matinee against Ottawa. That's going to be a weird one. Buckle up for a weird game. A matinee against Ottawa. Something weird's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they're apparently going to check in with him. I think that's what they're saying after the Saturday game, because they do play Ottawa again 5 days later. So one of these Ottawa games, I assumed it was the first one.
And reminder for all you lovely listeners out there, Ottawa games this year, for the first time in a while, matter a lot, because that's the team that you will be competing with for the playoff spot. So
it is. They were talking a lot about the standings during this game, like a lot more than I would expect, because like you and I check them, and I think fans check them a lot, like around this is basically the time, basically right around the halfway point. But they were like talking about it like there was 2 weeks in the season left.
That's intense. This is the time of the year where I think it really, really starts mattering. Like the turn of the calendar year, I think is when you're like, all right, in 3 months from now, we're playing playoff hockey. Will be just about starting in 3 months from now, which is 3 months away. But at the same time, that's only 3 months away. So yeah, and I'm now also quickly looking at the standings. That was a big win over the Lightning, because that tied us in points. The Lightning still have 4 games in hand, because apparently they just took a week or 2 off at some point. But that's still really important for the Bruins.
Maybe this will be the week where watching these standings matters a lot, because everybody else will be playing.
Maybe. Yeah. I distracted myself there, and I only half responded to that earnestly. I'm still looking at the standings, and I'm seeing that per usual, the Bruins have played a lot more games than the teams surrounding them in the division and the conference. Mm-hmm. So the Bruins do hold the number 1 wild card spot as of this recording, which is currently 10:23 p.m. on Tuesday. They only have 1 point above the Blue Jackets, who have 2 games in hand. There's no one below them who could realistically catch them that doesn't have 2 to 4 games in hand on Boston right now.
Yeah.
So a little bit more incentive for them to really be farming these points as much as possible. So if next game is against the Senators, who are the team below the Jackets, 3 games in hand on Boston, only 2 points behind, massive game. Really need to not only get your own points, but keep them from getting any points at all.
I think it's easy to say there's time, and that these aren't make or break games this early. But I think, dude, for a team that has, we'll get to it, accusations of already getting in their head in one way or another, and in just a season that is long, and you naturally kind of do fall into mental holes. The difference between maintaining playoff position and fighting for playoff position, crazy. I think that's crazy different. To be clawing and scratching to get into position versus being there and manning the gate. I put so much stake in that. Maintaining this right now. They play Ottawa twice in the next 2 weeks. Saturday and then the 23rd as well. And in between there's a couple other that we're going to do a schedule look at it at the end of this. Excuse me, but no, I don't think you can put too much stake in this.
No, we're not at a point where it's there's plenty of season left. Yes, there may be, but you're not in so good of a spot. It's not like in previous seasons where it's they just need to play 500 hockey for the rest of the season and they're fine. It's no, the Bruins need to be one of the better, if not the best teams in the division to confidently secure a playoff spot, which at this point, I don't give a shit where they end up in seating. I really don't. I just want a ticket to the dance. I don't care where my seat is.
Speaking of where the seat is, Jeremy Swayman had a game.
He did.
He's
stringing them together.
He's had a few of them. And this one in particular, I got to get the exact number. Was it 42 saves? Does that sound correct?
It was 42.
43 saves.
That is correct.
45
independently
shots.
Verifying that. Yes.
Unbelievable.
And that's huge.
A couple of very big ones. No, still no, like, there's no massive flashy, like, here's your highlight, whatever save. Just strong goaltending. Even like the Chevrolet save of the game or whatever.
It's definitely Ford, first of all.
Is it?
Everything is Ford.
Everything's Ford. You're right. Except for
the horsepower play, the Ford F-150 Final 5. That's why they suck at the power plays, because they call it the horsepower play. That's it. That's my reason.
It does. The more I look at it, it does look like horsepower play.
It does. I know what they're going for. It's supposed to be horsepower play.
Yeah.
And that's how Judd says it. He says horsepower play. Not because it's either horsepower play or horsepower play, neither of which are correct. It's like the Fear the Bear shirts. I'm like, that I hate it, because it's, you either read it as Fear the Bear or Fear the Beer or Fair the Bear. Like, you don't get both. Like, I'm a curmudgeon. It's fine.
I think you're totally right. Anyway, the Chevrolet save of the game, they couldn't even give one. They were like, just in general, he was just good tonight. And I think that's like super, super reflective of how Swayman was, because like he was just strong. And there was a lot of chances where I thought like one could sneak by here. Kucherov just is so ridiculous and just sets up anybody. Could set me up for something that would look like a surefire goal. But Sway just stood strong. I don't know.
He's looking.
He's turning a corner. I'm turning a corner on him.
He has. Pete Blackburn, good tweet. Swayman, since Christmas, has the most starts of any goaltender in the NHL with 8, and has a .925 save percentage across those 8 games. That is solid. That's very good.
Have you reached a point where you like feel confident in him when you like see, I don't know, see zone pressure, see the puck moving around the zone? Do you think like Sway's got this? Because I'm not there. Not there yet.
Not yet. I need a couple more games.
Yeah.
The numbers are great, and they were a little surprising, to be honest. Like that Pete tweet, I was like, really? A 925, you say? But tonight is an odd one too, because 45 shots is a lot, especially making 43 saves on him, opposed to Boston scoring 6 goals on 24 shots. That's tough. That's a 750 right there for one of the best goalies in the world with Andrei Vasilevsky. But yeah, no, I'm not quite there with Swayman, but I'm very happy to see where he's trending. And I think within a few more games like this, I will get back to that, like, not worried mentality, like a breakaway, be like, whatever.
I think that's super fair. I think it takes a couple more of those. Then he like starts to squeak into like, he might make my prize picks lineup.
Your what lineup?
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Think Lamar Jackson will get more than 250 passing yards? Patrick Mahomes to throw more than 1.5 touchdowns? How about this? The Natty free pick for the national championship game. You think Will Howard will get more than 0.5 pass yards? I would pick yes on that one if I was you. Sign up today. You get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the app now. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly. Do it.
Boston PD.
First $5 lineup. Boston PD. Download the app. Use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly when they play your first $5 lineup. Prize picks. Run your game. Do it now.
Do it. I'm on my third cough drop of this episode so far.
Were you shocked to learn that Marshy and Bergeron, Marshy and Pastrnak hate each other?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? What's crazy is that the person who said it is the only person on the face of the planet that knows it.
Well, he knows because he's in the locker room all the time.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought it was because he made it up.
No, he's in there all the time, and he's a reporter, and he's close relationships with the players, and they all know him, and they all like him.
That's good. Well, they'll definitely have respect for him, and they will definitely make that known whenever they speak to the media about that when it comes to light.
Oh, sorry. I'm seeing Marchand is calling for his job.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
He's not happy.
If you don't know what we're talking about, which I know you are because you're listening to a Bruins podcast, a certain someone on
Rich
local
Keefe.
Radio. I don't give a fuck. His name is Mike. A certain Rich Keefe publicly claimed that there was serious issues with Bruins, the Boston locker room, and that it was stemming from David Pastrnak hating Brad Marchand and requesting to the lead, not to the leadership, but to coaching, saying do not put us on the same line together. I do not want to play on the same line as Brad Marchand.
We'll play on the power play together, though. That's fine.
That's fine. That's different. That's a special circumstance. And it took about...
Don't hate him when we have a man advantage.
It took about 45 minutes for anybody on the team to get asked about it. I think it was following a practice. Somebody asked Brad, and he was like, yeah, not true at all. We're best friends. He's like, we don't play in the same line, so we can spread out the depth in the lineup a bit. And he was like, yeah, we've been joking about it all day. Apparently Pastrnak, when Marchand brought it up to him, he thought he was just messing with him. He didn't even think it was actually a thing that was going on. And then, Brad Marchand publicly called for Rich Keefe's job. He's like, the fact that this guy will have a job after this is insane. Mm-hmm. There was definitely some different responses to it. Some people were like, oh, I hate that he called it the media in general, because that's an unfair generalization. And it's like, all right, well, maybe it's not about you. Maybe it's just that one guy and Marchand calling him out. Maybe don't read that much into it.
It's also Boston sports media has a reputation. You just got to wear it. As somebody who's a part of it, you just got to wear it. And it's fine. I don't know. There's no need to be overly sensitive about that at all. I think I'm going to say the S word. I think that's soft.
It's sexy.
I think that's sexy, dude.
That's real sexy.
That's pretty hot, dude. Woo! Dude, these media guys are getting offended
too hot.
By that.
Oh, wait. It was all stupid. Before Marchand or Pastrnak had a chance to actually address it, you and I were like, all right, well, definitely feels like we're going to be getting a statement from one of the players saying this is categorically false. Because if this is true, this is the biggest story out of the Bruins locker room in a decade. And it doesn't feel like this is how it would break. And it was fine. It's just kind of funny because it's just why? I'll give him not even the benefit of the doubt. I'll make the assumption that he didn't just pluck that out of fucking thin air. He heard it from somewhere, from someone, but clearly did no vetting into it whatsoever. And this was also coming off the coattails a little bit of him being well, he was the guy who got the Montgomery firing first. And it's we all fucking knew that was happening. It was just a matter of
I spent the day prepping for when it was somebody's going to break it. I texted you. I was hey, it's happening today.
Yeah. The title of our episode right before it was When Not If. It was we know it's happening.
Yeah.
So you'd be
not even that the general air knew, but all the media guys were all talking to each other and it's it's coming. And then Keefe was he's getting fired. And it's credit to Rich Keefe. He had it first. I think that's what it is. It's knowing when to break something and when not to. Knowing what to say and what not to say. That's a nugget that you hold and you investigate more and you acquire more things, and then you write a story where you say and sources said this, and sources said that. To hear it and spew it on the radio is just stupid, and it felt a little childish. But then what felt infinitely more childish is to see Brad Marchand say, "Fuck you, idiot, that's not true," and be like, "Oh, see, I was right," because he got mad.
That's what he did.
So,
he was like, "Oh, yeah."
You wouldn't get mad if I was lying.
Yeah, Rich Queef. I called him Queef. I don't even feel like correcting him. Rich Queef. A real Rich Queef. He retweeted the video of Marchand calling for his job. He's like, "Oh, Marchand's calling for my job. Like, I've never been more confident that I was right." And it's like, dude, like, this is a weird time to double down on something that you had like no facts about to begin with.
And then he tried to double down on the air too and be like, "Why would I make this up? Like, why would I? Like, wouldn't I go after like, I don't know, so like one of the bigger teams?" Like the Patriots and da-da-da. It's like, all right, well, let's think about this for 1/2 of 1 second. You work for which radio station? You work for WEEI. Okay. And they broadcast they have the rights to the Patriots. Okay. That's like one of the only things that you guys still have. Okay. Well, no, they have Red Sox as well, but that's also not the fucking calling card of the city right now. Who has the Bruins? Is
Celtics.
It 98.5?
Oh, I think so. Yeah,
it's 90. It is. It's 98.5. The Sports Hub. Like, it takes no time at all to be like, well, this is a target that has no effect on us. Like, this doesn't have any negative effect on us, and it's a catchy, grabby headline, and it's the two biggest play. It's the only two players that the average casual fan would know on the Boston Bruins side, like McAvoy and Swayman. Like, it's by far the two biggest names, and to just pin them against each other, yeah, it's a juicy story, and you wanted to break it because you wanted the clip to go viral, and that's why you had the clip ready at 9:07 when you said it on the air at 9:04. Like, you knew. You were trying to get some clicks and some attention, and unfortunately, it's backfired because now everybody in the industry kind of knows that you're a queef. I'm gonna run with queef. That's a good word, bro.
It's forgot about fruit, queef, but yeah, I'll take it. Forgot about queefs.
You forgot about that, dude. Good word.
Two things come to mind here. One is that I was laughing because I was thinking about how, like, when Ty had tweeted something, he was like, "Hey," like, I think this was like when the Swayman negotiation was going on. He was like, "Hey, I'm hearing that there might be some news today." And with Ty's vetting process for him, I know that's like multiple genuine sources reporting the same thing before he's comfortable, like, even teasing something.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, like, media, like, so desperate to be in attention that, like, they just make shit up." And it's like, and then you have Rich Keefe who, like, literally did that. And it's like, yeah, like, that is what it looks like, not what Ty's do. Everybody, stop being mean to Ty, everybody, fucking losers.
I don't get it.
Also, the him Keefe responding, being like, "Oh, I guess I'm right." It's like, imagine that I'm like, "Hey, Joe, I am reasonably certain, I have sources saying that the manager of the Wendy's down the street from me is actually the head of ISIS. So I'm going to go fight him." And then I go in there and I beat the shit out of him and I get arrested. And I say to the cops, I'm like, "Well, you're arresting me, so I must be right. Why are you protecting him? What's going on here? What's going on here?"
Consequences for my actions. Therefore, my actions were justified.
Correct.
That's actually the logic. I don't understand it at all.
No, like, it's insane to me.
What was he supposed to? I don't know. It's like those. I love the police interrogation videos on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
They'll like break down interrogations. They're like, now the police are going to use this tactic. Like, watch this as
they start tickling him. Murderer says what?
Stop!
No.
Murderer says what is really good. But they'll do that. But then they'll also like pause it and be like, now notice the tone that like the suspect uses. Like, would a guilty or would an innocent person say it this way? And I always think like I've heard you make the opposite argument. I've heard you be like, well, you know, a guilty person should be more calm. Well, or an innocent person would be even more calm. I don't know. It's the same thing of like, well, you got upset, so therefore it fits my narrative. You fucking, he's an idiot. He's a queef.
Are you seeing this thing about Malkin right now?
Evgeny?
Yeah.
Is he good?
Someone, he personally, I think, someone broke into his home and stole his Stanley Cup rings.
Whoa!
That sucks.
All three of them, huh?
Yeah. That's tough. Shit! I'm losing. I'm sick right now. My train of thought is just all over the fucking place. There was something I was gonna say.
I gotta text you this graphic. Sorry, go on.
Okay. Oh God, it's bothering me. I can't think straight. I was gonna say something. It'll come back.
Look at this graphic. Evgeny Malkin, and then all caps, robbed.
It takes up a quarter of the screen.
Robbed.
What did I do? Got robbed.
Come on. That's really good.
Son. Come on, son.
Anyway, it seems like the Marshy and Pasternak stuff was absolutely.
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
During all like the Marshy Pasternak shit, like Marchand then tweeted or posted on Instagram because they deleted his Twitter for. I think his PR agent was like, "I am burning your phone if you ever even consider logging back into Twitter." He posted something on Instagram, just a bunch of photos of him with Pasternak being like, lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep, which is like such a 45-year-old man on Facebook posting a photo of the Joker energy.
Yeah. For him, it's cool, though. In that
for him, it's fine. Cool. Whatever. He gets
in that context, sure.
Brad gets a pass. And the best part about it was the comment from Derek Forbert saying Jake DeBrusk and I are feuding. Because not only is it funny because of the Martian Pasternak thing, but that's on the same team that is famously actually going through drama between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson right now.
Right.
So it was like a two-pronged bit, and I loved it. I thought it was so funny. Derek Forbert's also so fucking funny. He's genuinely hilarious.
Miss Forbes. If you don't want to miss Derek Forbert,
I know I don't.
You should go to a Canucks game. And the best place to get tickets to Canucks the Game Time. Game Time. The NFL playoff games, dude, they make me want to it inspires me to connect with other fans. Other big pigskin heads. I have so many fond memories of playoff games that I've attended in the past, and I'm also looking forward to making new memories this year. And with the curated deals, it's so much easier to find the best price on great seats on Game Time. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to find better value for tickets, sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. The seat views, dude, just go on there. Just go on there once.
Get on there.
Look at the panoramic view from your seat. Look around a little bit. Wow, I'm going to be sitting right here. And then tell me you're not going to go and purchase those tickets. You're going to be like, oh, man, now that I see the view, I got to get there. I got to get there, don't I? With Game Time's ticket coverage, your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Do me a favor. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. So download the app, create an account, use code CLNS, get $20 off your first purchase on us, on Game Time. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Game Time.
I have an issue. Game Time. I have an issue. I don't know if this is local, like super local, like New Hampshire local, or if I don't know if it's happening everywhere. But Xfinity, also known as Comcast, just the NESN contract had some issues. So you now have to upgrade to their Ultra Mega Ultimate TV Mega package to get NESN. You can't simply add on NESN. So Rob, they have found a way to make it cheaper for me to pay for NESN 360. It is an extra $80 a month to get the upgrade to the ultimate plan so I can get NESN.
$80 a month?
It's an extra $80
$1,000 a year to watch NESN.
It goes from like $135 a month to $210 a month.
I don't even want to be alive anymore. Like, what are we doing?
It's insane. I essentially don't have NESN anymore. And I don't know if you know this. My job is to talk about this team, the Boston Bruins and the Boston Red Sox, both air on that network. I know.
You should be able to message them directly and be like, you need to just give me direct access. Like, I
don't want to make public threats. But what I will say is this is John Henry's fault, and I'm just positive it is. I don't want to hurt John. I don't want to threaten John, but I think it would be fun to like bully John Henry for like a minute. I would trade like 2 toes to bully John Henry for like a full 60 seconds.
To like knock him over and then just like not let him get back up. Like, just
that's
keep
exactly
him down.
What I was picturing. Like a boom.
Just be like get up. Why aren't you getting up? Just why you're continuing to shove him down. Yeah. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Get up, John. Get up, John. Oh, I hate him so much.
Yeah,
I hate you, John. This is your fault. And yeah, this is actually a problem for me because I was watching on my computer because I somehow still have access on there for God knows how much longer. And I was minutes behind. You texted me about a goal, and I was like, dude, I'm behind you. And you were like, I've waited a full minute.
Yeah, I waited a full minute for me to text you.
And I still hadn't seen it. And then it just kept buffering and then getting further and further behind. It shouldn't be this much of a chore to watch the network where our favorite sports teams play in one of the biggest sports markets in the country. Rob?
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
But John Henry needs the money. Think of all the sports teams he wants to buy. Why are you being so selfish, Joe?
He's never bought me a sports team. People don't talk about that. He's bought himself a lot of sports. He's never bought me one.
It's pretty lame. It's pretty... I can't think of a negative word.
I would take a lacrosse team, John. I would take a handball team. Give me a team, John. You've got enough.
Sponsor my local bowling team. I don't... Please. You've seen the episode. We've all seen the episode of Simpsons with the Pin Pals, okay? And you basically are Mr. Burns, so...
Why do I feel like you're a really good bowler?
I'm a pretty good bowler.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because you're really good at pool. I would imagine you're just good at like bar sports.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm okay at darts. I'm not that good. Like I'm not great. Like I can't pick my shots with darts the way that I can with pool. For those who don't know, I have not one but 2 family members in the Billiards Hall of Fame.
The New England Billiards Hall of Fame?
I thank you for not letting me get away with that. I was going to keep it generic. It is the New England Billiards Hall of Fame.
How many members in this New England?
3. I'm the 3rd.
It is made by you.
It's the
New England
the
Pool
Tocci
Billiards
Hall of Fame. I don't even know if they have a website.
Billiards Hall of Fame. Here's the list of inductees for... Oh, the last time this page was updated was 2014.
Oh, it'll be there.
Jeez Louise.
Well, it should be.
Snookers.
That's a whole other thing.
New England Hall of Fame, first place. What is going on here? Lifetime Achievement Awards. Do they share last name? Oh, wow. There's 3, actually. Rob, you're wrong.
What?
There are 3 Toccis.
What was the 3rd?
Ron, Paul, and Ron Sr.
Oh, both of my uncles are in it. That's pretty cool.
You have not 1, not 2, but 3.
That's awesome.
Family members.
That's so cool. I'm gonna shit on my dad. He's the only one of the only one of them who's not in the Billiards Hall of Fame.
Dude, a bunch of these guys have sweet nicknames. They don't. Tom Shorty D'Alfonso,
Sal Cool Cat,
Sal Cool Cat Conti, David Super Dave Wright,
Dick Peppers Laterno Jr. Call me Dick
Imagine
Peppers.
being Super Dave.
Imagine being Dick Peppers. Billy the Kid Lama. This rocks.
Johnny Connecticut Vibes.
We have a podcast on the wrong sport, dude. Let's just start a podcast about the New England billiard scene.
I'm sorry, George Ginky.
We're tangenting so hard right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I'm gonna
things are up.
I'm gonna reel us back because I have some more points to make.
Oh, sure. I'm all down. I'm all down.
We've gotten 35 minutes in this episode, and we have not really talked about Matt Poitras getting called up all that much.
I know. We blew by it a little bit.
He immediately got to work.
Yeah.
Gorgeous assist on that Frederic goal, driving up the ice and making a pass from almost not behind the net, but almost like through the crease to Frederic. Love it. Quote here, Joe Sacco on Poitras. I think you could tell right away it energized our group. They look different tonight. I was inclined to be like, oh, it's the Poitras effect, more for like the meme of it, because like how pro Poitras I am, we are. But it's cool to see the coach being like, nope, that's what it was. But I thought he looked great. Definitely, not perfect. Like there were a couple like missteps, but like all in all, like I don't think he's gonna leave the team again.
He shouldn't. He really shouldn't. And if he plays anything like he did tonight for the remainder of whatever Kastelic's injury or however he's shuffled in right now, and does get sent down, it would be. I mean, it would be a horrific decision. I have a hard time even imagining it.
Out of all the players who aren't like an obvious mainstay right now, I think he had the best game. Letary, and
who knows?
Good.
I mean, Koepke. Who knows what's going on with Koepke right now? Like they might be short up front for a little bit.
So that was my next thing. So Darren Radish got Cole Koepke up high. So it was one of those plays, where Koepke was reaching forward to play the puck, putting himself in a vulnerable position. I can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of those like your jaw is like the most prominent part of your body at that moment. And Radish did not miss it. Shoulder right through the mouth, basically. And it looked as bad as it could. Koepke was down in the not fetal position, but down on his knees with his like head on the ice for a while with the trainer there with him. Had a hard time standing up, was like clearly putting like most, if not all of his weight on the guys around him to get off the ice. Could like not really support himself. The team does not have an update on him right now. I'm not expecting him back. That was awful. No. That was bad. Yeah. There's definitely a conversation to be had about the decision to make that no penalty. Again, it was initially called a major penalty, as is typically the case with hits that they need to look at again, because they can reduce it to they can keep it a major, reduce it to a minor, or eliminate it entirely, which after a lengthy review, they did decide to call no penalty on that play. I didn't like that. I would have conceded to a minor penalty, being like, yeah, like that he did put himself in that position, but that also doesn't give the defense a green light to just scramble his brain. It's one of those middle grounds. It's like the same thing with like on the boards when like if you stop too soon and you get driven through the numbers, it's like, well, yeah, like you're kind of giving the defense only that option at that point. What did you think of it?
So if let's say you're in a scrum, right? And you put your stick into the scrum, like along the boards, puck battle. And you stick your stick in there one-handed, and somebody lifts your stick. And your stick comes up and inadvertently hits somebody in the face. You get called for high sticking. Even if you didn't move your stick there. You are responsible for what your stick does, as it is in your hand. You are responsible for it, regardless if somebody's face gets too close to your stick. The same should, and to my understanding does, apply to your shoulders. It does not matter if somebody is leaning forward and their face is prominent. You hit them in the head. The principal point of contact is the head. That is the penalty. It's not, well, did he lean? Did he put him in a bad position? It's kind of hard to pull up there. He hit him in the head. And it's kind of one of those unfortunate things where, like, you can say, yeah, it wasn't dirty. I don't think any of us were like, what a dirty hit.
No,
I think they're like, but that should have been a major for the thing that gets called. I don't think there was intent there. But you're essentially penalizing the player who gets hit by not penalizing the other team. And if you, in your head, you're like, well, it should go the other way. I think it's a pretty fair trade-off to, like, well, there is a penalty that goes the other way when you lean into a hit like that, and it's called a concussion. Like, I don't think anybody's putting themselves at risk in order to draw something like that. So why would that ever negate the call when it still falls entirely under the responsibility of the assailant, in my mind? Like, I don't know. And Brick talked about, like, well, like, I'm trying to put myself in the opposite position and think, like, if that was a Bruins player, who made that hit, how would I feel? And he didn't really finish the thought. He was just kind of throwing it out there of, like, let's try to see this from unbiased. But
he did say, sorry, go ahead.
I think most people fall in the same place where, like, it's stunning that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, he also said it's like at full speed, it looked like a good hit. It's not until you look at it in slow motion that you see the principal point of contact was the head. Sacco said as much too. He was like, he said that he thought the principal point of contact was the head, which it was.
Yeah, it's
not even like one of those things that's like, well, if you look at it from this angle, it's like, no, like, that's not up for discussion. It's like you hit him in the head. It's just whether or not it was more so Koepke's fault than Radish's in that situation, like at the speed of which it was happening, the positions their bodies were in. But I think you made a good point too. It's not like that guy's trying to sell the call. It's not like he's like, oh, I'll draw a penalty by getting knocked in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
So it's just sucks
zero people in the game have ever done such a thing. So, like, I don't understand why that would negate a call. It just, I don't know. Rooting for Koepke.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like
such
Koepke.
A bright spot, dude.
Yeah, for sure. His speed alone has been so important to this team. And if you want to look at a silver lining, if he were out, that would open up another spot, because I know with Lettieri and Poitras called up, Marcel Lettieri getting called up, people were like, why not Lysell? Why not Merkulov? Like, both of them playing very well, and both are very important and good on the power play, which continues to be a problem for the Bruins. So if he were out, which I imagine he will be, you'll probably see another call up. That was another thing today. Everybody was seeing the, like, practice lines from this morning and being like, oh my God, this is awful. It's like, well, it's not great, but, like, it's not awful. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yes, you're short McAvoy and Lindholm, and yes, that sucks. But, like, Bruins have won games with worse lineups than what they put out tonight. And the fact that they walloped the Lightning 6-2,
whooped them.
Although they did, like, lose control of the game for parts of it, I mean, that was still a pretty fucking definitive
early in the third,
win.
I was a little worried. I was like, dude, or late in the second, I think it was actually.
They let up that goal late in the second, and then for a lot of the third, it was like not really them controlling the pace of the game. It was them just kind of like hanging on. But at the same time, it was like, I was expecting it to be like, well, they had a good first two periods, and then they let it go. I didn't really think that they were going to let up a 4-goal lead. Or whatever it was. When it was 4-2, when it was 4-2, I was like, they'll hold it. Like, they'll be 5-2. I figured they just needed the next goal.
I didn't think they would. It was more like, I swear to God, if you guys do, like, we're going to have a very, very different kind of episode coming up here.
Hockey.
Couple of wins. Do you want to look ahead now?
Just want to talk about Frederic real quick.
Oh yeah, please, dude. Yeah, deserves it.
Freddie, he's waking up. I very open about how displeased I was with his game lately. Just was public skating out there. Was just kind of doing nothing. And then the last, like, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4 games, like, the physicality's coming back, the fighting's coming back, the scoring touches showing up, the passing showing up. He had a nice finish on the Poitras assist to get the opening goal tonight. He had an awesome fight tonight. Grinning ear to ear as it ended. So him playing in line, the third line being Frederic, Poitras, Coyle. So your third line is 3 centers. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? Like 3 guys who can play center wing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Poitras coming back, if they continue to play together, especially Frederic, Poitras, Coyle could be such a good line if you gave them time to like really like start clicking, because we obviously know Frederic and Coyle play really well together. I am constantly calling for them to be kept together, and then getting centered by Matty Poitras. Hell yeah, I love that. So I really hope that sticks. And so does some of the other goals tonight too, like Marchand snipe, vintage Marchand. Love that. You got Parker Wotherspoon scoring his first NHL goal, which I did not know. He had never scored a goal before.
Almost 10 years to the day.
Yeah, almost a decade after he got drafted. That's awesome for him. And then Andrew Peeke finally getting his first as a Bruin on the empty net too. And Pastrnak also was leading NHL in goal scoring in the month of January, which is pretty cool. And he had a 3-point night this evening.
I really wanted Freddie to get the Gordie Howe.
He almost had it.
In
the last like
that
minute or so.
That fight was awesome.
Really
I can't believe they broke it up when they did.
I know they clearly like neither one of them like had the other like in a too vulnerable of a spot. They clearly both still had energy. That fight could have gone for another.
Like Freddie was clearly winning the fight, but he wasn't like
he didn't have a sweater over his head. And he wasn't like uppercutting him, except for that one uppercut that I posted the gif of. Oh boy, ding ding ding! Really cool to see that. And also, I think I already might have said this, but Mike Callahan, I liked his play tonight. Same with Letary. Oh, they just looked good tonight. They looked good. It was an entertaining game. Like, I liked watching the game tonight, which is a lot more than I can say about like 50 to 60% of the game so far this season. Also, we have 999 followers right now.
Are we going to hit 1,000 live?
I don't know. It was 995 when we started recording, so I'm kind of hoping.
Well, thank you, everybody who follows. Hit at bearwithme_pod on Twitter. Come on over.
So many GIFs and videos.
You ready to look ahead a little bit here?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Because I'm looking. Do you want to know the chunk I'm looking at here?
Hit me with the chapter title.
I got a little bit. I don't have a title right yet. I want to workshop it. I want to workshop it with you a little bit.
All right.
I am looking at the next. Let's call it. Exactly 7 games.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. To the end of the month. So this is through the end of January. This is at Ottawa versus San Jose, at New Jersey, home against Ottawa, home against Colorado, in Buffalo, and then at home against Winnipeg.
It's a mixed bag.
It is a very mixed bag.
That's like the highs and lows of the NHL right there.
Peaks and valleys.
It literally. Ooh, nice.
There are 14 points up for grabs here. I would feel very good if they walked away from this stretch with 9.
Well, I would say 10. So yeah, 9's safe.
10 is a little steep for me because that means only losing 2 games here.
I want 9's fine. I need both. I need 4 points against Ottawa. I need all 4.
Yeah.
And give them like no more than like 1. That's more important to me right now in this stretch, I think. It's keeping Ottawa at bay.
Yeah, so peaks and valleys, these 7 games, 9 points, and take all 4 from Ottawa.
That's what I want.
I love that. I would feel very good. That's a solid mission. It's a solid mission here. Ottawa, as of right now, 22-18-3. The Sharks, 14-26-6. The Devils, 26-15-5.
What?
And then Ottawa
good
again.
The Devils are.
Yeah, I know. And then Colorado, who is 26-17-1. And then Buffalo, who is 16-22-5. And then Winnipeg, who is, I swear to God, 30-12-3.
Yeah, first team with 30 wins. Kyle Connor with a natural hat trick in the first period tonight. That's another player the Bruins could have had. We're not getting into the 2015 draft, Rob. Why did you bring it up?
Yeah, they could have had all of those guys still.
It's crazy that they could have drafted. I don't even want to get into the joking of it anymore.
Yeah, I can't.
They could have drafted Wayne Gretzky in the first round of 2015. Is that fucking crazy?
And not great. Actually, the Bruins, Cam Neely should be fired because of a draft 10 years ago.
Calling for my job.
His face looks like that.
So I did a thing.
So I did a thing.
Did you see? There's this. All right, we're getting not safe for work here, ladies and gentlemen. It was a tweet. It was like millennial orgasming, and it's like, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do a thing. it's like, oh, I did a thing.
So I did a thing.
That's
funny.
Millennials are the worst.
It's you, dude.
I know. We're right on the edge. I'm on the edge.
You gotta sit here and sing Lady Gaga and say you're
I'm thinking about it. It's fine with me. But no, as far as like looking forward, that's a solid stretch of games. That's trying against some of the best in the league. It's making sure you stick to your game against teams who are not very good, and it's playing against teams that are very similar to you in the standings that you need to take points away from. So that's a very interesting end of the month. And 7 games in 16 days that's pretty frequent, especially when you consider that they're about to have 3 off in a row right now. Yeah, math.
I'm all about this. I really do like their ability to play like this while with the amount of injuries there. So
that's a character win. A character win. That's what that was.
They needed a shake up.
Goddamn definitive one.
They looked so good. They moved the puck. Marshy accepted passes on the tape of his stick, which is cool.
This was a feisty one too. I know, we kind of danced around it because talking about the fight, but there's a lot of bad blood here. And was it the Florida game as well with Zadorov that he was in everybody's face, or was that against the Lightning? The previous game.
I think that was the last Lightning game.
Okay. Well, it's again, the Bruins had been boring, but not lately. It's especially when they score 6 goals. Oh, that feels good. Oh, I love watching the Bruins score goals.
There's nothing better than watching the Bees score some goals.
Just what's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Just Bees scoring goals. Well, we will be back. It's going to be a bit.
Yeah.
Let's come back after the first Ottawa game.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it'll have been almost a week at that point. We might as well.
Yeah, either Saturday,
3 p.m. game
Saturday
too.
Evening, maybe.
Dude, this game's already weird. Ottawa matinee at 3 p.m. This is gonna be the weirdest fucking game of all time.
I'm telling you, this is gonna be a strange one. Well,
fine with me.
We will catch you then, folks. In the meantime, follow us on the socials at bearwithme_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Rob Tocci. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for talking bees. Thanks for calling up Matt Poitras. And as always, thanks for
bearing with me. Frederic, all right. Frederic, all right. Frederic, all right. Frederic, all right.